Hi, welcome back to my Facebook page. I'm Judith Patterson. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Texas. Today, we're going to be making a cute little Christmas card with the Sweet Little Stockings stamp set. I have used this so many times, and I'm going to keep using it so many times because it's adorable and I love it. So today I'm going to be using the cardstock that has the puppy. All dogs are puppies to me. It doesn't matter how old or how big they are. They're all puppies. They all act like it, right? So it's the one with the dog that has the Christmas lights all wrapped around it. So I've never had a dog do that before, but I have had a cat do that before in the Christmas tree. The first year my husband and I got married. Hey, thank you for joining me. I was just saying we are making a Christmas card with the fun Sweet Little Stockings stamp set. So cute. Okay, but I was thinking about the drawing and what I needed to gather up for that, and I never pre-cut my cardstock, so it will take me just a minute to get that cut, but that's okay because everybody needs to know how to cut cardstock and prep for a card. Speaking of the drawing, I ended up doing two just because I like to give stuff away. Hey Sheila! And so Kaylee won the first drawing and Beverly won the second drawing. And also, so I use this really cool thing. It's a random name picker, and it is just something like I Googled, and you can put all the names in, and then you just click a button, and it draws. So that's pretty neat. So they need to pick their prizes now. All right, let me go ahead and switch to my desktop so that you can see what I'm doing. I have my heat tool over here, and every time I try to roll my chair, I get stuck. It's usually not at my desk unless I'm doing a video. Okay, so what I need to grab is a cherry cobbler card base. And I'm hoping I have one pre-cut. I was looking at all my cardstock backwards. So yes, there's a cherry cobbler card base. And I need to grab a shaded spruce. Just kidding. It's not shaded spruce. It's evening evergreen. Y'all, we have a lot of greens right now. And it confuses me sometimes. I don't think we've ever had this many green colors all at once. But this is a gorgeous green. Isn't that pretty? I'm not sure cameras do this stuff justice, y'all. All right, so the card base is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4, which is pretty standard. But this piece, I'm cutting 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. So it's going to be this layer right on top. I've got the dropsies today too. I've been dropping stuff all day long. And then I'm cutting this cute designer series paper down to, I'm going to cut it this way first. I'm going to cut 4 inches this way. Then I'm going to do 5 1/4 this way. So there's those layers. And I'm going to grab my cherry cobbler and gold ribbon. It's a metallic ribbon. Isn't that pretty? It has a shimmery, there you go, now you can see it. And that gold goes like all the way through. It's really cool. There's a piece for the inside and a piece to stamp on. This is just basic white. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab my stamp cut and emboss machine, and this is my mini machine. It stays handy on my desk, and I'm gonna get the stockings dies. I'm gonna grab this one here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this piece down to 3.5 inches because that's what will fit in my machine. There we go. So it looks like this is too big, or not big. It looks like my cardstock is not big enough, but I have a trick. So because I don't want my card piece to be as big as this die is. Oh, you can't see it. It doesn't look there. See, you can see it's hanging over. So I'm not going to cut the whole thing out. I'm going to start, but I'm not going to go all the way through. And I'm going to pull this out. So the end is cut, but not the other end. The pointy end, the arrow end is cut. So I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going by feel, and I can feel when all these little bumps line up inside these cut spaces. And once I have it to about the size I want it, and it's even, I don't want it crooked on the top. I want it a little longer than that. There. I think that's straight. I'm not good at figuring out what straight is. Okay, so now I'm going to take a piece of washi tape just to hold that in place. Ay, ay, ay. I moved it. There. Now we're golden. Okay. There we go. And so now I have a shorter piece than what the die is. And you can do that with so many dies. I do it a lot with the stitched rectangle dies as well. Just a handy trick. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my Memento ink and my cherry cobbler ink. And I'm also getting my cherry cobbler blends and my evening evergreen blends. So we're going to do a little stamping and a little coloring. So I have a scrap piece of paper. That's all I really need for today. There's not a lot of stamping on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and get my stamps. I'm going to be using both of these gifts and Peace, Joy, and Kisses. I'm going to start with Peace, Joy, and Kisses. Except that'll fit on this small block. And then I can put the gifts on the larger blocks. Okay, so both the gifts are going to go on my scrap piece of basic white. And then on my little pocket piece here, I'm going to stamp Peace, Joy, and Kisses just right up here in the corner. And I'm finished stamping. I might do some stamping on the inside though. We'll see. Okay, so really quickly, I'm going to color my boxes. And I'm going to start with the big one. And I'm just going to use the light evening evergreen. So all of our blends, I think it's so cool that we get a light and a dark. So it makes shading really easy because you've got two colors to work with. And then for this other one, I'm going to alternate the light and the dark on this diagonal for the cherry cobbler. Oh, I'm glad I started with light because I'm kind of making a mess. I'm not staying in the lines. So, if you missed it, whenever I was doing my earlier video, I was reminding you about the sale that is happening next week. The 16th through the 18th, Stampin' Up! Is going to put their paper, their cardstock, not stamps. No, not stamps. Cardstock and ink. Any of the ink that is not third-party ink, so all of our Stampin' pads will be on sale, and our dies will be on sale for 3 days only, so you don't want to miss that. So while I have this dark cherry cobbler, I'm going to go ahead and do this ribbon on this other one. And also the joining special is still happening. So if you have a nice big wish list that you want to get from Stampin' Up, now is the perfect time to join, because you can join for only $75 and you get to pick everything that's in your kit, which is awesome. You just can't beat that. Okay, so there's our boxes. So now though, this is the fun part. Now I'm going to get my embossing buddy, get the static off of this one. So I kind of fibbed when I said I was through stamping. I don't really consider this stamping. I consider this embossing, but I do use a stamp to do it. So I guess technically I'm stamping. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to fib to you. So because this is clear, hoping you can see what I'm doing without my head being in the way, I'm stamping these stars on the edge of this package. There we go. And then I'm going to take my gold embossing powder. And it looks messy, but it's going to be okay. So I knocked all the extra off. And then I'm going to heat emboss this. Okay, so I know that looks like a mess, but I'm gonna now take my paper snips and go ahead and fussy cut all around these two boxes. And then I'll clean it up even more. I'm cutting very close to the edge of this outline. And I'm gonna clean it up even more by adding a little bit of, I'm gonna use my Stampin' Up marker, my basic black Stampin' Up marker, and go around the edges just to darken everything back up and give it a more finished look. I'm trying to hold this where y'all can see it and I can see it too. Okay, so I just went around those really quick, and now I'm going to grab that black Stampin' Up marker, and I'm going to use the brush tip. I'm just going to go around and darken the edges. So there is a die. You could skip the embossing part, and you could skip the fussy cutting part, and just don't stamp the stars, just color the box, and then you could use the dies to cut out these gift boxes and leave the white outline. It wouldn't be so messy if you used the dies, but because I wanted to add the stars, I thought the stars would be a fun touch on the gift box. I decided to cut the outline really close to get rid of all those stars that were overlapping the edge. And then this just gives it a more finished and complete look and not so messy. So the black Stampin' Up marker is the only marker that you can buy now alone. The rest of them come in color family sets. Okay, time to put this card together. See, there really wasn't a lot of stamping to this one. I am going to go ahead and get this Santa Paws is coming. Nope, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get Merry Christmas and this little Very Merry right here. So I'm going to put Merry Christmas on this big block here. Just put Very Merry at the top of this block. And then I'm going to use the Cherry Cobbler ink again. And I'll stamp Christmas Greetings. Then I'm going to stamp Very Merry on top of that. There we go. Now, stamping is complete, and let's put this together. So I'm going to use my liquid glue. This is my favorite adhesive to use. And I use it to put this Designer Series paper layer on top of this Evening Evergreen. And there's just going to be a little thin border around the DSP using this. Then I'm going to take that gorgeous ribbon, and there's a couple of different ways you can do this. You can just put glue dots on either end of the ribbon, or you can take some tear and tape and place it on one side of the ribbon all the way across, and just pull that off. I have ink all over my fingers today, y'all. I'm telling you, it has just been a clumsy, messy day. I have a lot of those. I try to be neat, but I'm not great at it. Oh, sad. We're covering the puppy's face, but look, there's another one down there, so it's okay. And I got it a little crooked, but still, we're good. So usually I do glue dots on the ends of the ribbon. So I've had more practice with that. But I'm trying to branch out a little bit and use some different kinds of adhesives. And I really like this tear and tape. But I think I got in too big of a hurry there. But it's okay. It's not too crooked. It'll be fine. Alright, so I'm just adding Stampin' Dimensionals on the back. And then I'm going to place this layer on the front of the cardstock. Took a drink, now my fingers are a little damp. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to also use Stampin' Dimensionals to add this pocket layer. Over the ribbon on the front. I usually put a glue dot in the center, but since the center is going to be over the ribbon, I don't want it to bump up weird, so I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to line it up at the top of the Designer Series paper. And then I'm going to take this little box and I'm going to add it with liquid glue again. And then I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals to add this other gift. There we go. There is the front of the card. There, it focused. So I just love the way the stars look added to the front of that gift. And all these mischievous little animals crack me up. Okay, so then for the inside, all we have left to do is add this piece. And again, I'm using liquid glue. You could use tear and tape or Stampin' Seal. Whatever your favorite adhesive is. I know everybody has their own personal choice for favorites. That is all there is to it. So I hope you enjoyed this card. Let me know if you have any Stampin' Up! Questions. If I went over something too fast and you have questions about it, then just shoot me a message and let me know. And also, I will be posting another video tomorrow on YouTube. It should go live, or not go live, but it should be available at 10 Central Time tomorrow morning. and it is a card from the catalog. So if there's a card from the catalog that you would like to see made on YouTube, then just let me know which card that is, and I will do my best to show that for you. So I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Thanks for watching. Happy stamping!